Hi, I'm Michael Cromwell with PCGMedia. Today we're checking out Focus Moon booth and we're looking at Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishment. I'm here with the Frogwares marketing manager, Olga.
Hi, Michael.
So, Sherlock Holmes, what's different compared to the Testament? Is it more casual or is it more accessible? What have you changed to make this game something new?
Everything different. The new Sherlock Holmes game, Crimes and Punishments, is completely drastically different from the Testament of Sherlock Holmes and from the previous old Sherlock Holmes games that we did. So the game is more challenging. It is not casual, if you're saying that. It's more challenging.
How about the puzzles? What are the puzzles like? Are they harder? Are they different? What about the puzzles? Because puzzles were something we remember from the Testament quite a lot. They were tough, often mathematical. Do you still have those?
Definitely we are going to have some puzzles. Might be the case that we are reducing the number of puzzles. Yeah, it's not something very numerous that we are going to have. But yes, we are going to challenge not only your detective skills, your investigation skills, but also your whiz with the puzzles. Trying to open the locks and some different things.
Okay, so for fans of the original, obviously they know that Watson played a small role. He had some romance and things like that, and often in the books you see that he would go off on these infatuations. So what role does Watson play in Crimes and Punishment?
Of course he is going to have his own role. We cannot make the Sherlock Holmes game without Dr. Watson. It's obvious. Yes, you are going, at some moment of the game, you're going to control Dr. Watson and you're going to play him. Not only him, and some other characters.
Toby?
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you like Toby in the Testament of Sherlock Holmes?
I liked it because it was nostalgic, because Toby's in, the books. It's nice to control Toby, it's nice to have him there. He's getting old now, so, soon he'll be retiring, I think,
Maybe.
to the farm. So, will we be returning to Baker Street in between the game, or will it flow slightly better? You said that everything's more intertwined. So will you be taking a case, going back to Baker Street, taking another case? Is the dynamic the same there?
Again, there is no Sherlock Holmes game without Dr. Watson and without Baker Street, number 221B. So yes, we are going. You actually see that currently we are at the Baker Street, waiting for the next case to come.
Okay. So the deduction board is something that's interesting, because you said that the cases are determined by yourself. So you figure out if they're guilty. If they're guilty, you either let them off or you change that, and there are repercussions for doing that down the line. So with these changes, the deductions have to be perfect, because people are making moral choices. Then the information they have and how it ties together logically has to be very logical. Is that something you've been worried about balancing? Because in the Testament, I found that sometimes I got things wrong, even though in my head I was like, this is right, this is what's making sense, I don't understand. And then I see the thing and it's like, well, that's ambiguous, I wasn't necessarily wrong. So is that something you had to focus more on to get the deductions more sort of...
Well, Michael, the deduction is the so-called completion of your investigation. Once you think that you are done investigating, once you gathered all the necessary information, all the clues, you are good to move to the deduction board. This is the place that you are going to connect and to link together everything that you found so far. And there's the part for your detective skills, how good you are into finding things. And then there's the part in it, how good you are into linking them together and analyzing them together. As I say, every case has several different conclusions. You are not able to really conclude something unless you have found the necessary.
So these conclusions, are they different variations of right, or is there right, wrong, and completely off, or are there different rights?
There is only one person who could committed the murder on the case of Black Peter.
So what would happen if you kept putting the wrong person away?
You're going to ruin Sherlock Holmes' career.
Will the game be over, or would we continue?
No, you're going to live with that.
You're going to live with that. So
yes.
you could play as Sherlock Holmes, but be a terrible Sherlock Holmes.
Terrible Sherlock Holmes.
Okay, it's
and
great.
Police is coming to see you, but police is thinking people are thinking, why?
So, you know, like Lestrade is like, this guy's terrible, we should get someone else. Okay. So what about Sherlock Holmes' character? You know, you've roughed him up, and he was an erratic person. I mean, the Testament, he was very stringent and tough, and sort of like very wooden, you know, walking around. And you know, in the books, he's on coke. You know, he's screwed up. You know, he's crazy. He's very erratic. I mean, so have you put more of that sort of, you know, substance abusing, you know, manic depressive, bipolar, sociopathic, brilliant sort of madness back into him, or is he still sort of?
Is it something that you would like to have for your Sherlock Holmes?
Yes.
Yes, because we would like you to really believe that you are playing Sherlock Holmes. So we would like you to have your very own personal Sherlock Holmes. So you are going to put your personality inside of it. And this is probably why he now looks more modern, more like nowadays. His haircut, a little bit messy. He's smoking.
He still looks like Mark Strong. I noticed the actor Mark Strong. I've been saying this all along. Well, you know, we'll put a link up to Mark Strong, and everyone's going to agree with me. You should, yeah, he really does. Yeah, I'm surprised no one's like, you know, I'm surprised his agent hasn't been in touch, because that's Mark Strong, I'm telling you. But so character-wise, can you change his character with a character wheel? You know, a dialogue wheel, things like that. Can you say different things in different tones to make your own character, or is there just you know set things you can say and how he would say it?
Well, part of having the selection of what exactly you would like to discuss with the witness or with the suspect, nothing like that.
Okay, so there's nothing like a Mass Effect style, you know, dialogue wheel. Okay. So in terms of making your own Sherlock Holmes, what can you do to really direct the character, apart from, you know, your different decisions, you know, making him terrible and stuff like that? What kind of Holmes can you make? What choices do you have?
I mean, it is your Sherlock Holmes, whether you want to be him hilarious, whether you want him to be very serious.
So what would be an example of like making him funny?
It's something that you're putting inside of him, you personally.
Is that the same thing? Do you have, you know, good interaction with Watson? You know, does he go off on his own sort of thing, or is he still sort of like a
sidekick?
Yeah, like a sidekick.
He is.
So he's still following you.
Yes.
He's always
yes.
following. You've got a new engine using Unreal 3, so what directed the decision to change to Unreal 3 from your in-house engine that was used on the Xbox 360 as well?
Yeah. Well, actually, we started using Unreal Engine for Magrana. It was our first Unreal game. And when we've been working on it, we saw the way that we saw the things that it brings for your development, and we already knew that we are going to have the engine for the next Sherlock Holmes game. We enjoyed. I mean, we had our own homemade engine for the Testament of Sherlock Holmes. We've been pretty happy with it. Of course, it wasn't like perfect. It had some things to consider to be changed to fight with. Hopefully, we're not getting that kind of a lot of things like that in Crimes and Punishments. Apart from that, the Testament of Sherlock Holmes was considered to be a rather beautiful game. I mean, I'm very proud of the quality of the graphics quality in the Testament of Sherlock Holmes, with all the lightnings and all the details, and you were able to see all the small peculiarities with some paintings, for example, or with the chair that you can see that Sherlock Holmes is taking. Crimes and Punishments is even more beautiful. It's even much better compared to the Testament of Sherlock Holmes. So we have this really cinematic feeling that you are inside of this 19th century London, inside of the game and the atmosphere of the game.
Excellent. So finally, have you got a release date announcement? That's it. We don't know.
I'd like to say something very specific, but at this point it's Q1 2014.
stones may build a home, but a house that needs you inside. You're looking pretty, I'm sure. Knock on my door, it's always open to you. So throw it up and all the way, and let the house see the day. Let us look over the view.
When your work is over, it runs to mine. Oh, we could meet in the second-hand shop where I saw your face for the first time.
Sticks and stones may build a home, but a house